So I want to make a real quick video to kind of walk you through how you can implement Magic Link sign-in yourself if that's something that you want to add to your applications. Recently, I have refactored my starter kit to use Lucia auth instead of Next auth. I think it just gives more flexibility, and especially since I want to use database sessions and I want to avoid the edge and the middlewares and stuff like that, I think it's just a better option for me. So let's kind of do a quick walkthrough of how the Magic Link sign-in works. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in my email like this, and then I'll say sign in with Magic Link. So what this is going to do is it redirects me to a page telling me to check my email. And then if I go, you'll see I just got an email over here. Let's click on this, and here is the Magic Link sign on. Now, disregard the image not showing up. It's supposed to point to prod. I haven't deployed a prod yet. But if you click on this link, what this is going to do is this link has a token in it. And this is a one-time, one-use token that expires after about 5 minutes or so. And so when I click on this token, it takes me to an API/login/magic, which verifies that the token actually exists in my system and it hasn't expired. And if everything's good, it looks up the user email and it basically creates a user creates a session for the user if the user exists, and then logs us in. So let's just go ahead and click this and notice that we are going to get redirected back to the app and we are logged in. We have a session set and this thing will keep us logged in for a while. All right, so let's talk about how this kind of works. It's actually not too hard to add in. So if you go to over here, I have a sign-in page, and then I have a magic section, and I also have a Magic Link form and a page. So let's look at the top level page. And then in this page, I have that Magic Link form, which is displayed. If you look at this, all this is doing is displaying a form with one field called email, has a little bit of validation set up, but when you submit it, it calls a form action, so sign in Magic Link action, which I add some rate limiting here because I don't want people to keep trying to guess random emails and stuff. So I'm rate limiting by IP and also by the email. But after doing that kind of protection, I go ahead and send out the Magic Link calling this use case here. Let's look through here and see how this works. So first I do query the database and say, hey, is there an existing user with this email? If there isn't, I go ahead and just create one. And then we also do a couple of other things. Like, for example, we set a token. Over here, I generate a random token with some random length. That's just using the crypto library that's built into Node to do that. And then I also set a token expiration time, which I think is like 5 minutes or something. Yeah. So that is how we are creating a new user who has not been created yet. And then down here, I send out the email. Okay, so basically I use resend behind the scenes to send out this React template. I pass in that token into the Magic Link email template. And you'll see that down here at the bottom of this email, I have just a link that goes and redirects back to API login magic. And then I have a query string here that has a token. Okay, so let's figure out how that works. Let's go to API login magic route. And let's kind of read through this. So again, this is rate limited as well. I don't want people trying to guess random tokens. But what I do is I grab that token from the query string. And if it's not defined, I just redirect back to the sign-in page. And then what I do is I grab the user from my schema, from my database, who also matches that token. So this will get back the user who has that token set. So let's look at what login with Magic Link does, because it does first try to query the persistence layer for that user by the token. And then if the user does not exist, we throw an error. If the token has expired, we throw an error. And after that, we basically set the email as verified in the database. And then we also delete the token and the token expiration time from the user as well, so that the token cannot be used again. And then let's go back to the route. After all that's been done, we're basically verified that the user did provide a proper token and the user does exist. So we go ahead and create a session here. We use the user's ID as like the main key for the session. So then we create a cookie using that session ID that we created over here. And then we set the cookie on the user's browser, and then we redirect back to the home page. Okay, and once that cookie is set, I have various calls on my application to basically get the session to display different links and do some conditional rendering and stuff like that. So again, I'm using resend for my email provider, but you can use whatever you want. You can use AWS SES, you use Mailgun. There's a bunch of ways to send out the emails. That's not the hard part. The hard part is like just making sure all the stuff is linked up correctly. And yeah, so that's kind of the overview of how Magic Links are set up in this application. If you guys are interested in checking this out when it's live, go to wdcstarterkit.com. There's a newsletter you can sign up for, and I'll send you all notifications when this is ready to be downloaded and played with. All right, have a good day and happy coding.